Jerry, it's November. It's such a busy time here at athletics. The fall sports winding down and the winter sports are starting. It's a great, exciting time.
Yeah, that crossover time between the fall sports closing out their seasons and the winter sports getting started is always a busy time for us, but we're excited about it.
Absolutely. We've already had some great success and some great exciting news in the fall sports. Start off with the women's cross-country team winning the Big Sky title in Cedar City, Utah at the end of October. The fourth title in 5 years for the women's team. Coach Paul Pilkington, what a job he has done as that head coach.
He has. And, a couple years ago I had the chance to go back to Louisville when we went to nationals and experienced that whole NCAA championship experience with our cross-country team. And everywhere I went, people would come up and talk about Coach Pilkington and how well respected he is around the country, not only as a recruiter and whatever else he's involved in and getting kids here, but as a teacher of the sport and helping our distance athletes to improve as they've come in here. So he was a great runner in his own right. I heard they all told stories about the LA marathon and that whole experience. So he's well respected around the country, and he's doing a great job with our team.
Wildcats now ranked 25th in the country in the latest polls. They'll head to the NCAA region championships here soon, and then hopefully onto the NCAAs as well. Anytime you win a Big Sky title, any sport, that's obviously the big goal is for any sport is to win a conference title.
Yeah, no question. When we all, as you know, we sit down as a staff and we put together our dashboard each year of what we want to achieve and what our goals are. And obviously, you got to start within the Big Sky to win Big Sky championships. That's the conference we're in. That's the core of what we do, and so we focus on that a lot. You can't do much beyond that until you do that. So we have high aspirations to be successful, and then all those things lead toward President's Cup titles, and we've won 4 of those, the most in the Big Sky, and those are important to us too because it's a reflection of what you do on the field or court, what you do in the classroom, and what you're doing in the community.
Also, the women's soccer team is headed to the Big Sky Championship in Moscow, Idaho. Soccer team with another great season. They've really finished strong and heading into the conference tournament, and they've had success there in the past as well.
Actually, the bus just left, so they're on their way. They're going to spend the night in Boise and practice, and get up to Moscow. We're excited about it. They're going to be up in Spokane, it looks like, for a couple of days, and a little bit of because things are busy. There's football games going on in Moscow and over at Washington State. But you know what? None of that matters. We're going up to win championships, and we have a history of being able to go in and win, even if we're not the top seed. So we're excited about Coach Crompton and his team and wish him the best this week.
Wildcat football team has a couple more home games coming off a very tough loss at Eastern Washington where they played very well. It's been a season that has definitely improved based off the last few years. And the Wildcats, again, with 2 more home games. But how would you evaluate the football team at this point?
Well, we always talk about culture and what kind of kids we're bringing into the program. And we've had, I think we've got 30-some-odd kids out there that are still finishing up missions that'll be coming into the program in the next couple of years. I can see a dramatic change in the way we're approaching our business in practice and how we're getting ready. I was really impressed this year coming off a tough home loss with Southern Utah and to go up to Missoula and get a win for the first time in 28 years. So we're seeing some improvement. We took the 5th team in the country last weekend to a point, and if you look at the stat sheet, we really dominated that as well. So we're making progress. We've got a couple of home games left that we expect to compete well in, and hopefully win one or both and see where we end up. But we're seeing the progress, and that's what it's all about, is continuing to make dramatic steps in the success of the program.
There was an announcement in October of a change in radio with Carl Archie stepping down to pursue other professional opportunities after 18 years as the voice of the Wildcats. And Steve Klauke named the new voice, and also David Patton will do color for basketball games. Exciting times. Carl Archie's been with us for a long time, but so we wish him the best, but also excited for the future with Steve.
Yeah, we are. To have Carl leave was a tough thing for us because of the history of what he provides and the way that he calls a game. He tells a story. But Steve's been around our program. You and I have had some interesting trips with Steve as well. I remember one to Texas. Was it last year?
State,
yeah. So that was a trip, one weekend that felt like a month. But we've had some great experience with Steve, and he tells a different story. I've been impressed with his preparation. I'm hearing good things about the way it sounds, and to bring Dave Patton in on basketball with a little bit of that perspective as a former player and a player that was very good in our program and played with under Randy Ray. So I think he's going to provide a lot as well, and we're excited about heading there very soon.
So, yes, basketball season beginning soon. Exhibition games for both the men's and women's teams this week, the first week of November. And then the seasons begin on November 13th. The Wildcat men will host Utah State. A lot of talk about the basketball season. Weber State men picked first again, 7th time in 8 years to be first in the conference season. Talk about the home schedule, and then we'll get into the tournament going to Reno as well.
Yeah, just a comment about being first. I know that's Coach Ray's favorite thing is to always be picked first. At the Big Sky meetings in Reno, I ran into Coach Fish from Montana State and just said, "What are you doing picking us first? I mean, we were 8th last year. Leave us alone." And he just said, "You've got the best player in the league." And so, it's hard to keep off that radar, and we're excited about that. I know there's been a lot of scrutiny about going to Reno, and in the end, we felt like we put up a very good bid and a proposal to the Big Sky to host. When it was apparent that just wasn't going to happen, then it moved to, okay, then what's the plan and what is the desire of the conference? I'm sure there's some out there. I know there are, because I've heard from some that say, "Why did you vote for that if you're not in favor of it?" It wasn't so much that it was simply a situation where the conference as a whole wanted to go to a neutral site. So yeah, I could have voted against it. We wanted to host it, but in the end, it wasn't going to matter what our feel was, and so we've got to make the best of it and be a leader in this conference. And so at this point, we've been out to Reno. We took a trip there a couple of weeks ago with all of the coaches, did some media. We've looked at the facilities. We know where we're staying as an institution. We're going to be at the El Dorado, and we need to make the best of it and sell tickets. A travesty would be that we have a very good team, and our fans, for whatever reason, decide they don't want to go. We know where we're going to be. We pretty much know when we're going to play. So I hope that our fans will make a plan to come to Reno and take a few days and just be with the team and enjoy great basketball.
Tickets for that are on sale now, and also the hotel and the arena are literally 1 block away. They are that close to each other, and tickets on sale. How do you go about getting tickets?
So you can go to weberstate.com, weberstatesports.com, and click the ticket office link, and you can reserve your tickets right now, or you can come over to the Event Center ticket office and buy your tickets. The Big Sky, right now we're just selling tickets, so there's no hard tickets to go out. We're taking orders. They are reserved seats, and it's a tournament pass that's on sale. Once we get to about February, then those tickets will be sent out. And then we'll put on our website here shortly a link to the El Dorado where our fans can book rooms at a Big Sky rate where our team is and be part of all the fun that'll be there. So we anticipate it's going to be a fun week of basketball, and we expect to be right there at the end on Saturday night.
And again, the El Dorado has plenty of hotel rooms right next door, Silver Legacy right there as well, and again, 1 block away. So March 7th through the 12th, men's and women's tournaments. All 24 teams, all 12 from each men and women will be there.
Yeah, we're excited about that. Our women we know will be playing depending on where we finish. That'll start on Monday, and so it'll be a long week, but a good week.
All right, last question with Jerry Bovee. Let's talk about the basketball schedule, which begins again with Utah State on November 13th. Been some chatter about the home schedule and the teams that are coming in. Tell us about how that process works.
Yeah, we talked on another episode a little bit about guarantees, and we did offer some guarantees to different teams, and I know we probably didn't flesh that out. We had a certain budget that we had raised. And in the end, the teams that we'd offered that to, and there were a number of them, for what we were offering, they were looking for more. And to some degree, I felt good about what we were offering, but I also understand, hey, it's a business for them, and they wanted to get the most out of it. So, we're going to have to decide: do we need to generate it, raise it? We need to sell more tickets. We need more. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to generate revenue to help build the program, and right now, we're kind of flat in our ticket sales, so we need to do a better job of getting people out to games. But in the end, we're going to continue to try to get the best competition we can here. I know there's a lot of scrutiny about playing non-Division I teams, and as Coach Ray and I sit down and talk, I mean, I think he'd like to get out from under doing that too, playing those games too. But they do serve a purpose in one sense that for us, we're a one big bid league right now. So it goes back to winning the Big Sky Championship in order to get to the NCAA tournament. You want your RPI to get better and better so that your seed gets better, obviously. You got a better chance to win a game if your seed starts to lower. I mean, that's just the way it goes. So for us, we've got to continue to work toward getting good Division I opponents on our schedule and getting them here. But in the end, until we get there, those non-Division I games play a little bit of a role for us. Playing one early gets you out of the gates and kind of gets the bugs worked out and before you play a Utah State in 2 weeks. And then playing one late December, right before you start your league play, I think serves a purpose. Is it the best case scenario? No. But we're going to continue to work to get teams here to create a great home schedule. But in the end, we want to win games and win Big Sky championships. And right now, that's what our focus is. We're going to do everything we can do to continue that tradition here at Weber State, get into the tournament, and win some games.
Should also mention that all 14 regular season games will be televised on KJAZ. First time that's ever happened as well as school history, which is another big thing for Weber State basketball. So thanks again for joining us. Again, a busy time at Weber State Athletics. Make sure you follow WeberStateSports.com and social media for all the latest schedules and news. A couple football games remaining, and then basketball seasons begin for the men and women here very soon. Thanks for joining us, Jerry, and go Wildcats.